Guys, welcome back to the 5th Gen Rams YouTube channel. Today we've got something a little special for you. We've got a highway MPG loop in this beautiful 2020 Ram 1500 Limited Black Edition, powered by the new 3-liter EcoDiesel V6. So for 2020, the EcoDiesel is pretty much all new, 80% new parts, now puts out 260 horsepower and a class-leading 480 foot-pounds of torque. So this truck does have the new EcoDiesel powertrain, 8-speed automatic transmission, and the 321 rear end. So we're going to do the initial fill up here and then hit the highway and see what it does. Alright guys, so we're filling the truck up now for the initial fill up. Diesel is about 20 cents a liter cheaper than gas where I live. So that's about 80 cents per gallon. And so far in this truck, I've been getting about 24 miles per gallon in combined driving. So I'm very curious to see how it's going to do on the highway. I think it's going to be a really impressive number. So we'll get this sucker filled up here. Okay, so that's the first shut off there. I'm going to wait about 30 seconds and hit it again, and then we'll hit the road. Okay, that's it. Let's hit the road, see how this does. So we'll get it started up and hit the trip, reset the screen, and let's go. Okay, so the truck's now filled up. We've got about a mile drive to get on the highway here, and then we're gonna get on the highway, set the cruise control at about 70 miles an hour. We're going to run the same loop as we did in both the Rebel Highway MPG test and the Bighorn V6 Highway MPG test. It's about 170 kilometers or 106 miles. Now on the Rebel, which was a 5.7 Hemi, of course being a Rebel has the 392 gears, it was a non-e-torque truck, we got 19.5 MPG. With the Bighorn, with the Pentastar V6 with e-torque and the 355 rear end, we got 21.3 MPG. I think we're going to be pretty close to that 30 MPG number with this limited with EcoDiesel. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. I've been driving this truck for about 4 days now, and I've been incredibly impressed with it. The EcoDiesel never really interested me in the older body style. I have a 2016 1500 with the Hemi. This new updated EcoDiesel is plenty powerful. It's not a race car, of course, but you know what? Either is a Hemi Ram. But it's getting incredible MPG during my daily driving. So it's a really viable option if you're looking for a full-size truck that's also economical and can still tow. In the right configuration, this EcoDiesel can tow up to 12,560 pounds. And it's incredibly smooth, incredibly quiet, and can get the job done while being fuel efficient. So I'm really curious to see how that works. So we're at 70 miles an hour now. I'm going to set the adaptive cruise control, and I'm going to let the truck do its own thing. We're going to try to keep as close to that 70 mile per hour limit as we can based on traffic, and we're going to check in with you guys along the way and see how it turns out. Okay, so we've just hit the turnaround point and we're now on our way back. Now, another thing I want to mention here, guys, and it is important, is that I am not doing anything here to hypermile the truck. I'm driving it exactly as 99% of you would do in your daily driving routine on the highway. So, like I said before, 70 miles an hour, we've got the adaptive cruise set. I've got the climate control in auto so it can run the air conditioning, do whatever it wants. The air suspension is just set up in its default setting where it lowers into aero mode at highway speeds. But other than that, this thing, I am not doing a single thing to try to extract every single mile per gallon out of it. I'm not being shy about merging back onto the highway when we switch sides, anything like that. And another thing to note is that this truck is probably about as heavy as it gets for a 1500, being a fully loaded limited. It does have the panoramic sunroof, it's got the round boxes, it's got the multifunction tailgate. The only thing that this truck does not have that adds weight is the larger 33-gallon fuel tank. It has just the standard 26-gallon, which impresses me even more that the fuel needle has barely even moved about 60 kilometers or 90 kilometers or close to about 55 miles into this trip here. So we're gonna keep going and we'll check in a little bit. All right guys, so we are about 3/4 of the way done our highway MPG loop right now. According to the display, we're looking at about 28.6 miles per gallon or 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers so far. The truck has been a complete joy to drive. And of course, like I said, this is just the highway MPG loop. We're going to do the full review soon with our full impressions, but just talking about the highway driving here, the truck is super comfortable, super quiet, and this 3-liter EcoDiesel just continues to impress me the more time I spend behind the wheel. I'm really thinking that we might have to pick up a EcoDiesel as a long-term test truck for 5th gen Rams. If you guys agree, let me know down below in the comments. I was kind of thinking about waiting for the TRX and seeing where that price point's at. But at the same time, I also do have a Trackhawk that we use as a long-term test vehicle for Mopar insiders. And no matter how you slice it, while the TRX is going to be an awesome truck with that 6.2 liter Hellcat V8, 707 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque, physics comes into play here, and the TRX, no matter what you do at the end of the day, it's not going to be faster than the Trackhawk, and even mod for mod, because we're going to start modding our Trackhawk here pretty quick. So that makes me think, since I do have the Trackhawk, do I get rid of the Hemi Ram and do I get something like an EcoDiesel 1500, and that gives us a long-term test vehicle that we can see how the reliability is going to be, how the fuel economy is going to be, and how the truck just works out over time. We all kind of know there was some issues with the older 2nd generation EcoDiesel, and of course FCA says that they've resolved that with the 3rd generation. Having a long-term test truck with the 3rd generation EcoDiesel to see how it plays out might not be a bad idea. So I would like to hear from you guys down in the comments down below. Do we wait for the TRX and maybe go that way? Or would you guys be more interested in seeing a long-term test with the EcoDiesel? But we're going to get this thing to the gas station, fill it back up with diesel, and get our final number for you guys here in just a moment. Okay guys, I am excited to see what the number is. So here is the cluster. Total was 172.8 kilometers, showing 29.3 MPG or 8 liters per 100 kilometers. It took us 1 hour and 48 minutes to do that. So I will also calculate the average speed based on time. So bear with me and let's see how this goes. All right guys, so here we go, filling it back up after the loop. So diesel is $1.28 a liter here right now. Times that by 3.7854 to get it into gallons. I can't do it right off the top of my head. About $5 a gallon, just shy of that. Welcome to Canada. But we're going to top it off, wait 30 seconds, and go again until it clicks. Wow. So it took 12 liters so far, so we're going to give it 30 seconds, and we're going to hit it again and see how it comes up. Okay, it's been 30 seconds. Let's hit it. Took a bit more, but there is the final result. So 13.47 liters is what it took. And of course, I'm going to convert this all to miles and miles per gallon for you guys too. So bear with me. Let's calculate it out. Okay guys, so with the highway MPG test concluded, I have hand calculated the results, and just bear with me a sec here because it's a little complicated, so I'm going to look on the phone. So no surprise, the EcoDiesel is the best performing Ram 1500 that we've put on our highway MPG loop so far. First was the Rebel, which turned in 19.5 MPG or 12.07 liters per 100K. That's the standard 5.7 Hemi, 392 gear set, of course, with it being a Rebel. Now, the Bighorn V6 had the 355 gear set. That put down 11 liters per 100 kilometers or 21.3 MPG on the. What's surprising is just how much this EcoDiesel beat it by. So our loop was 172.8 kilometers. It took us 1 hour and 41 minutes to complete it. That gives us an average speed of 102.6 kilometers an hour or 64.12 miles per hour. As I said, we have the cruise control adaptive cruise set at 70 miles per hour. We do get that most of the time, but of course with traffic slowing down and with the gas station being about a little over a mile off the highway, there are some slower sections. So the cluster said 8 liters per 100 kilometers or 29.3 MPG when we filled up. We used the 2-click method, filled the truck, waited 30 seconds, and then filled it up again. Now, upon hand calculation, the real number is 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers or 30.2 miles per gallon. I am extremely impressed with that number and this little EcoDiesel. It's torquey, it's smooth, it's powerful, it's quiet, and it's returning impressive fuel efficiency. Now stay tuned to 5th Gen Rams for the full review of this 2019 Ram 1500 Limited Black with the new 3rd generation EcoDiesel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll see you guys soon.